What's going on, guys? So obviously I wanted to do a follow-up video about the update, right? So luckily my boy Zox always has access to the beta honor super server. I have no idea what it's called anymore, but he actually has a preview of what the event is, and I've been told in a couple of my comments, hey, that the pity system or the summon system is going to be working differently than I had anticipated. Now, I had an idea that it might work one way or the other. I did like that there was they lowering the pity, like this one guaranteed legendary Esper, as you can see here. I will play some of the video, obviously, because he actually explains it, right? And I might go into Daddy Free to Play's video. I'm not too sure because he actually explains it. I think he said he did the math, and I think that would make it a little bit easier. But what I really like here is that Zox actually goes through and shows everything, and I don't know if Daddy Free to Play, I didn't look through all the channel, I just go by recent videos. So as you can see here, just before I press play, so now they have the spin 20 as one spin, and then you can get a whole golden record 10, which it doesn't have here. So this would be either one golden record or 20 of these, and this is the standard banner now. So when you're doing gold records, this is what they're changing it to, and it's pretty much that a 10 pull here is going to give you 50 of the super senses or whatever like that. That's what they said. Now, doing the math of that, I thought like, oh, well, it would be very, okay, you just do a 10 pull and it's 1-to-1, but it's not 1-to-1. The thing here is that on this specific one, like, you can get Zeus here. You actually can get him here. So that's what they said, if I remember correctly from the notes. I almost feel like bringing up the notes, but I'm just going off my memory. Is that you can get Zeus here, but there's no rate up here for him. So he's part of this banner. From what I can understand, he's part of this banner, but there's no rate up for him. His rate up is only in the super sense. Now the super sense, as you can see, is going to be for a certain amount of days, and this is where it goes crazy. So like when you do a 10 pull, they're saying that you get 50 of the thing. Now if it was 500, it was 1-to-1, how I initially thought it was, but it's not. Like, yes, the pity here is lower, and a really good commenter said on my comments, and that he said it's very similar to Mystic Summons and Epic 7. Mystic Summons and Epic 7 is pretty much a separate currency that they have that you can gather through the best way to get it, honestly, is through guild battles and being in a really good guild, and it would force you to be in a really strong guild. If you were in that guild and they won a lot, you would have these currencies, and this is literally no problem for you. No problem for you to get the resources that you need, and then eventually, and it was for summoning light and dark units. Now this game has light and dark shimmer units, so it only has one type, but if they implemented that system and it was very easy to farm, then it wouldn't be that bad. The biggest issue that I have here is that it's a new system that they're just introducing, and I think that what would have been nice is to give maybe us the option to transmit our gold records 1-to-1 into the super senses, right? Because pretty much you're gonna have all this come out on the same day, and who even knows how much of this that you're gonna get. It's definitely wonky. It's definitely not good. Also, when you're summoning on here, they limit the 5 stars that you can get. Now a lot of people might have issues with that as well, because I've heard of that issue before in the past. So like, if you don't want these other 5 stars and you're summoning on here, it kind of sucks, because if you see legendary, you're obviously hoping it's just Zeus. Again, I like Epic 7's version. You summon, if you want randoms, you summon on a random banner. If you want a specific character that's rate up, I feel like that's the only one that should be there. It is nice that they do Odin, which, if I'm not mistaken, she is a shimmer. So I feel like they'll do that all the time. There will be a shimmer plus 3 other random legendaries plus the main superstar, right? Now they do say here, hey, 2 rotations of this will get you the thing, but now 2 rotations of it, which is essentially 80, right? It's essentially 80. 80 times 2, 160, 160 summons, so 160. That's why people have been putting in my comments, you're gonna need 1600 spins or something like that, which is really hard to get, especially if you're doing the summons to get it. So it really depends on the other currencies, the other shops that you can get this stuff in. So Zox shows that a little bit later. That's what I want to calculate on my own. So here's one example, right? So we have the super sound matrix of 50 of them, and it's going to be in stock for 500 of the event currency, so that's 2 of them, and that's going to get you 100, right? So this is kind of how I'm looking at it, right? I'm trying to see like how much can you get from this. Now this is obviously the event shop, so it's kind of not even to count it as regular. unless every event shop has it, which I think that they will. I think that this is a decent thing, but events, it depends on if they want to do that every event has that. So there, boom, you have one event where you can get 100 by just playing, and then, you know, hopefully that's enough. And then I think he shows the other shops, right? And then boom, he shows the other one. So there's 2 on the other one and 3, so that should be a full once you do the full shop. But we all know that the shop is broken into like 2 parts, right? So as you can see, even here, available in 5 days. So let me whip out El Nobuco. All right, now is in the tournament shop. So gold shop is not going to be in there. It's not in the friendship shop. It'd be nice. And then tournament shop. So tournament, I think, resets every week. Oh yeah, this is the PvP shop, right? So there goes another 50 from the tournament. So this is more standard, right? You can hope, I'll separate it, but you can hope that you can get this, right? This is the other top part is going to be an event. So we have 50 in the shop that rotates. I think he says it's in the cube as well. Boom. Okay, the cube also has it for 2 of them. So that's 100, right? And the club shop. Okay, so that's another 100 that you can get. So upon the opening of it, hold on, let me just make sure there's no more, right? There it is. So mathematically, so right now on release, right? So on release, you'll get 250 from the event, and unless they do an event every week to do that, then that would be slow. But weekly, it's actually the same. It's 250, just on that math alone, right? So every week you get 250, and it takes at least 500, as you guys saw, to do the where is it? Shout out to Zoc. So it takes 500 in order to do that. So in 2 weeks, without an event existing, in 2 weeks, then you will be able to do a 10 pull for the thing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same one where it doesn't reset like per event or something like that. And even if it does or it doesn't, it is what it is. So 2 weeks you could do a 10 pull. You need to be able to do 160. You need to be able to do 160 pulls, right? So I did pull back up the patch notes just in case. But like, just for example, right? So if you're getting like weekly, like I said, it's 250 a week. So you do in 2 weeks, you can do a 10 pull, right? And then on top of that, obviously most months have four weeks in it, so you can be able to do 2 pulls per month. So just for they do say like you could get it in other ways, obviously, and this is excluding summoning. But also a couple things that I want to keep in mind that I do want to like point out, right? So right, that's a lot. But if you do add this, if they do constant events where you're getting another 250, then it does lower it. Also, like they said, if you're doing 10 gold records, but this is during the event, by the way, so you have to really take that with a grain of salt, because you don't really know how much that's going to contribute to. So like, yeah, every 10 pull you do with gold records is going to accumulate to be one of the summons, so that will add up too. So but that's when you do, what is that, 10 for 10, 5 for 5 10 gold record pulls, then you will get you'll be able to do another 10 pull as well. Now, how often is that? I mean, it depends, because when you look at the stuff like in the shop, like he was showing, is that you look at the shop, it's going to be a little bit, you have to make some decisions there a little bit, right? Because like you can't get all of it. I mean, unless you're maybe super hyper playing, or maybe you're in a higher tier that you can get everything here. Like this is this is the event shop, even in an event shop, right? So you would have to be able to get the super sound matrices plus the gold records. You most of the time, most people clear these shops out unless you're just not playing or whatever. So that's one thing, right? Yeah, and then here, right? So just for example, the online union shop, you have to be able to get this plus this, and then maybe you get it. They do say something here which still makes me a little weirded out, is that Zeus up, right? Guaranteed draw attempts are shared among multiple card pools, which is such a weird thing to say. It makes me, I mean, the hopium, the copium in it makes me think like, oh, maybe that means that if you get a legendary, guaranteed draw attempts, right? Like maybe it's in the same. That would just make no sense to me. I feel like, I mean, that would be great, because that would mean like as you're summoning on the gold records, that's what I was saying before, by the way. As you're summoning on the gold records, it's boosting up the other one as well. But I feel like no, but at the same time maybe, or maybe only during events. So if you summon like when they like right now there's no event going on. Like if you start summoning when there's no event, then you're just summoning for no reason. It will stop people from just doing random pulls when there's no event going on. But also they even say something along the lines of, you know, like also like your chance of getting an Esper is actually lower. This one's like 1%. It's actually lower on the super sense. It's actually lower. Like, oh yeah, here it is. Like the card pool retains cumulative spins and the probability of getting the designated Esper. If you did 50 spins, a super sense this time, the cumulative spins for the next one will start at 51. So like it stays there, and that's probably what that means, I guess. Guaranteed draw attempts are shared among both card pools. I'm assuming that's what it means. That let's say I can go as hard as I want for Zeus, and if I don't get Zeus, at least that my progress will stay there until the next one. But still, I feel like that's just not that great. It's just not. I think what it's do, and that's kind of what Daddy Free to Play was saying in his video. You guys should check that out. Is that I think it's more like Leslie trying to do. I feel like it's just trying to get you to confuse you, because I'm sitting here, I'm doing all this math. I'm like 2 per week plus half a day, and then this, and it's just meant to honestly frustrate you, and then you just say, well, what are the packs? Oh, yeah, I remember this. So they are giving you a free 10 pull immediately as well, which is nice, because before they even if you look at the top here, they don't give you a free Nexus 10 pull. They only give you a single. But it's probably only for this event, I'm assuming. I can't find it, but like I could have swore that they showed somewhere where they actually showed you how much it's going to cost to buy packs of this. They had like a preview for the actual packs in the game that are gonna have the super sound matrices. And this is one of the comments that really kills me. That I feel like is really hurt. It's on Zox's video. This part I don't care about, because he's making fun, but it says the pity is lower for the new unit in terms of quantity, but it takes almost a year to get that many spins. He had that actually, for me, I feel like that hurts a lot. Imagine actually saving for 2-3 months like you were told before, and that was in your mind, that was saying that's guaranteed to get you the thing. Now it's not. Like that's not how you guarantee to get the new unit. It's significantly higher. You're kind of screwed out now, and like it feels like now you done saved it and they changed the summon system a week before the new unit comes out. It would have been nice maybe as soon, I don't know, maybe as sooner, or maybe I don't even know when you change it. I don't even know why you exactly change it. I think it should have been that it's both, or how Epic 7 did it. They specifically did it in a way that it was kind of to get like rare units. Honestly, this would make more sense if it was for Shimmer 5s. They would have left the event thing alone, and then for your Shimmers that were 5-star, that you introduce that unit. And it could be as slow as multiple months, and it kind of was for most people, unless you were in a good guild. It's fine that way, because it's to get access to a certain unit that that you normally wouldn't have access to. But the newer units, you did have access to it, especially if you saved up, like I said, 2-3 months or whatever like that. You had access to it. It was egregious, and people were hoping that it would go lower, but now it is significantly higher, as I just showed. Just if you go on basis, just getting that currency. Now again, like I said, you can get the other currency. You can get Nexus crystals, you can get gold records, you can stack that up as much as you want, but that conversion only happens, remember, it only happens when you are during that event. Now of course, I think every event they're probably gonna have that specific thing, but I still feel at the same time it's just like you're pretty much forcing people to summon at a specific time. During the events, that's when they can summon. I mean, I personally do that anyway. I don't summon outside of the events. I know some people like to, but you can only summon at those times. Those are the only things that you can really do. And I feel like overall, I think it is bad. I don't think that there's a good upside to it. It's a decent idea, but of course, most of the ideas, most gacha ideas are usually decent ideas just implemented poorly. I think that if you're looking to get units, and they've pretty much stood on this, is that if you're looking for a game that gives you more units, especially new units, on a consistent basis, this is just not the game for you. I feel like a lot of us are like, I guess we saw that really good trailer, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do my dailies a little bit more aggressively, play my PvP a little bit more. And I get it. It's a slap in the face. You feel kind of messed up about it. The different current. I can't even find the pack, but we all know that there's going to be a pack, because there's always packs for the new summon currencies, regardless of what they are. And I feel like the mental gymnastics that you're gonna have to be trying to do to come up to a conclusion and say, oh well, you know, I think that if I get this and then plus this, I almost will guarantee that you can't even buy like a pity. Like I guarantee you can't buy 160 summons on release. I guarantee you can't do it. You can't do it. They're gonna have it that you're gonna probably have to buy a lot on one go, and then when it resets or something like that, maybe weekly or bi-weekly or whatever the hell, maybe monthly, then you can like buy into it. But I guarantee they're not gonna allow you to buy it all at once because it's just not smart to. They'll get way more money by like limiting it and making it that you have to make multiple purchases back to back in order to be able to do the pity, and they'll guise it under, well, you know, we want to make sure that you use your own currency you know, first. But that's what people do, and that's what Wales did in other games. That's what they did. They kept buying those packs. That's one of the packs that they keep on a rotational buy, and that's how they guarantee themselves to get the new units at all times. So it sucks. You know, I guess it sucks. I had a lot of hope. I thought it was a crazy good maneuver to bring people back into the game by really opening up the gates for people to come back into the game, start playing, you know, really engage themselves, try their luck at Zeus. But it's looking like, yeah, if you get Zeus off a gold record, it's extremely rare. Extremely rare if you get it off gold records. And then even rarer to get the legendary to pop off the Super Sound Matrix. And then if you get 2 pities in the Super Sound Matrix, guess what? You do get Zeus. But remember, it's like 1% chance. And then now they lowered, no, sorry, it's even lower than that. I keep forgetting it. It's lower on the Super Sound Matrix. Yeah, it's 0.5 to get it. And then consolidated chances, guaranteed chances, 1.51. Consolidated chances was guaranteed chances included. So it's like, I guess that's to get the one that you specifically want. And then yes, it's if a legendary pops up, it's 50% chance to get what you're winning, but you could still end up with the other ones that you might not like. And then you're gonna hope for another 0.5 or 1.5 chance for it to actually pop. And then if you get that chance to pop, honestly, it's really weird if you really think about like how lucky. It's like you might as well play the lotto, man. The odds, I feel like I don't know if you have better odds than the lotto, probably not, but like I feel like they're not too far off, right? Man, but just wanted to make an updated video about it. I'm talking in circles at this point. And okay, there it is. Yeah, temporal tower, bounties. You need a ton of events. You need a ton of event, temporal tower, the bounty. You need to be getting it all over the place, and then you have to hope and pray that it ticks, right? That it ticks and you get a legendary, or it ticks, you get 2 legendaries within the time period, and boom, you're done. And if you don't get that, it's definitely not a real pity. It's one of those pities that is like only certain people are gonna have access to a pity like that. And yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Peace.